All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for March Comes In Like a Lion, Season 2, Episode 12.
Okay.
Yeah, we had some big developments in the last episode.
Just a
We
little bit.
had Soya and Ray being set up by the commissioner, the chairman, and our old school boy, what's his name, Yanagihara, setting up an
Play shogi.
exhibition match.
Yeah.
Yeah, some kind of
Kind of a big deal.
media, promotional kind of deal.
Because Ray is a spry youngster that's full of life and energy and hope,
Yes,
unlike
kawaii
Shimada.
desu.
Yes.
Yes.
And he is marketable.
Unlike Shimada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Shimada. The idea that they basically drew the comparison of Soya and Shimada are the same age.
Impossible.
Nani?
Yeah.
Masaka.
Yeah.
You know?
And then there's the whole stuff with the club.
Yes.
You know, and the senpais cycling out. But now there's a club,
Noguchi
class,
and his mustache.
Yeah, exactly. And Hayashida being like, "You're a student? I can't." But now Ray is being depended on, and maybe, a little bit
Yes.
depended on a lot by the faculty of the school to
Yes.
teach them shogi because they want to learn.
And they're very different. They're very flavorful and fun,
Yes.
unique looking characters. And I'm excited to see how these, fully fledged adults kind of come into this whole environment and are like, teach us, senpai.
Yes.
Sensei. We give our hearts. Shinzo Sasageo,
Oh boy. But seriously,
really
like
special.
playing shogi with Soya, that's huge. So
yes. It's
yeah.
It's a big deal. Big deal. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, we're going to be starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Whoa, new OP!
New OP.
Dang. Whoa.
I mean, this does look amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like everything's transparent. It's like as I'm seeing reflections on...
sure.
Okay, now it's gone, but...
There's a lot of focus on Hina, though.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, and he's awake. He's up and he's moving. Oh, that was the girl from... Yeah.
I think her name was Chiho.
I haven't seen... Yeah, it's Chiho. You're right. Yeah. Good memory. On this side of the river. Hey.
Now, wow, that
he doesn't need to cross the river anymore. He's in this place of enjoyment.
Yeah.
He's in
He's
amidst the flower petals. Life is blooming. It's wonderful. Oh,
and you know what?
That
We have not seen Kyoko this entire OP.
Yeah, and he's now running through grass and flowers. It's just
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. That was probably the most positive OP.
I know.
They keep making them more and more wholesome. Okay, but now we're going into dark something. What is this? Black mist? What's going on? Oh, Hina. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
The teacher's getting bullied now?
Interesting.
Yeah, someone's gonna throw something at her. Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Come on. Jeez. Oh my gosh. They're really emphasizing like the frailty of yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And Hina's gonna stand up for the teacher.
Yeah. Oh, dang. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh. Yep. Oh. Yeah. Call her out directly. Oh, did I say something? Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Hina! Hold up!
Wait. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Jeez. Jeez. Oh. Holy crap. Is she speaking out loud?
I think so.
Oh. Whoa, teacher. Come on. Jeez. Oh, God. She just collapses. Yep. Yeah, she's not well. Oh my God.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Well.
Wow. So they're gonna get a new teacher then. Yeah, they'll have a substitute. All right. Yeah, someone who doesn't have the contextual information surrounding what. Oh, the head teacher. This is the guy who is at the shogi club. He's the the guy that's the wholesome guy. The gusto guy, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Calling them all out.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, that's awesome. Right, the two sources of the conflict primarily. That's yeah. It became like an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Just, oh. Okay.
All right.
Now we finally have some color back.
Yeah.
God, I was.
Whoa.
Ugh.
Oh,
yeah, and then this is where things get a little bit. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
They weren't showing Akari at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. And just wore her down. Jeez. So that's why Hayashida was all like, oh, she's one of those. It wasn't that it was something to do with her personality. It's just that he knew she was
No, Hina, do not feel responsible.
Yeah. It's okay.
You handled yourself fantastically.
Yeah. It is going to change the dynamic, though. This is what Hayashida predicted, though, is that...
Yeah, but this is okay.
Ah! Huh! All right! Coming right up!
Oh.
We're going to be properly prepared.
Yes. That determined look on Akari's face.
Yeah. Oh, I love Akari so much. Yeah.
Oh.
This is why you watch the show, guys. This is one of the many reasons why you watch this show, y'all. This is, God, it's such a good show. Oh. Okay.
Oh, that was good.
Light. Yes, we need some light. Thank you. This show's like, hey, we have some blackness.
Yes.
Oh. Oh my God. Absolutely. You're gonna have a heart attack, old man. Like, calm down. Akari focus with the mom. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, Oh, don't do this to me, show.
I think that's Hina's VA right there.
Oh. Come on. Come on. Oh. Okay, crap. They took the color away again. Okay. Right, and this would be Takagi, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. This is not intentional, but it's going to have them basically alone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And one is a full adult, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, what a good guy, though. Yep. Wow. Oh, even the head tilt in the dark.
Wow. Oh. Stand your ground, Akari.
Yeah. Akari, you're doing fine.
Yep. Don't let it get to you.
Yep. Like you said, this was the light part.
Yeah.
Black Mist was the previous part. Why are you doing this to me, show? Hina, yeah. Cool. Cool. Oh, this is great. Hina's the strong one now because she's been dealing with this for so long.
Yep.
Whereas Akari had no idea, really.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, the lines on.
Yep.
Oh.
The voice acting is amazing.
Did you see like the black lines like coming off of like steam?
Right.
Oh crap! This guy's. Oh dang! Oh.
That is a legit point.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, innocent until proven guilty, but yeah. But there is an issue that needs to be resolved.
But there is bullying. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't have anything to put a grievance against her for spreading the rumors.
Yeah, exactly.
But it would be basically a thing of where it would be a neutral standpoint of.
Yep.
There is bullying happening.
Right.
We can't prove that it's happening.
And it is happening.
Or who's doing it. But we know that it is happening.
And to Hina.
And to Hina, yes. Yeah. Nice. Good.
Cool.
This is great. He's coming to her. Being I love Kokobu. Yes, this is amazing.
Wow, he's awesome. Okay.
Okay, is that it?
Is that the episode?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is a different ED.
Oh, yeah. This ED is not looking wholesome, actually, so far. Oh.
Huh.
It's like static rain. But it's like a visual representation of depression almost. Like there's nothing in the background.
I gotta say, I like it. I'm not entirely sure what impression to get from it.
Depression. Like, this is... the visuals, I mean. Not the music.
Yeah.
See, then the...
Right, yeah.
Then everything else comes from... Yep. He runs away from it towards the color. It's kind of the same thing as the other ones, but it's expressing things, I would say, in a little bit more of an impressionistic way than a literal way.
Right, a bit more primal.
Yeah. But that static bit with the rain in the beginning, that's where I think the depression part of my interpretation comes from. And then you have this joyous rainbow and almost simplistic kind of look to it. Okay, so we double checked.
Yeah,
let me clarify this real quick. Mr. Kokubu is not at the Shogi Club, one, because they are at different schools,
right,
and two, because it's the principal and the vice principal that are at Ray's.
But there are some similarities in the character designs. But,
they look kind of similar, but he doesn't. Kokubu doesn't have the rosy cheeks of the principal.
But I gotta say, Mr. Kokubu is amazing.
I love this guy.
Yes. He's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes.
That was so good. That was so good.
Yeah.
Like, but man, this episode was heavy.
This was
a heavy episode. There were so many great moments with Hina just running up, and and then just stopping right there. It's like, because I was kind of worried that she was gonna hit her, but I'm like, no, don't do it. You know not to do that. And she just stops and like practically JoJo poses.
Yeah, she does. Like there's the wind of gust behind her of her momentum.
Yeah,
Takagi's like, ho, you're approaching me, and she's just like, I can't chew you out without getting close to you, you bitch.
That was so good. That was so good.
Man.
And like Hina has grown so much, and I love it. And the way that they make it so that this is, on the one hand, something that she has the strength to do in a lot of ways, probably because of Ray.
Well, because of all the people supporting her, and the amount of time she spent in this environment getting used to it.
Absolutely. But the idea that when it comes right down to it, it's her digging deep and finding that part of herself that won't take it. Right. Yes. Absolutely wonderful. And the stuff they did with the teacher, that was a great way to make me sympathetic towards the teacher in
the old homeroom teacher.
Yeah, the old homeroom teacher.
Yeah.
Because that was rough. They really did make her look frail. Like the part like with her cracked lips and everything, and or wrinkled lips, I guess, and
her really narrow
like
wrists.
Her hand sort of like reaching out, and everything. That was
because there were times I remember earlier on in the show where they made her look like she was in her, her 40s or something.
Right.
Kind of just like middle-aged, not elderly. But this, they made her jump like 12 years in terms of age, look, and everything like that.
And the thing is that the whole idea of the teachers, like teachers are grossly underworked or overpaid. Right. Underpaid and overworked. Yes. That's how it goes.
It's that, but the other thing is just that the mental health taxing of the actual daily, the week-to-week stress that they build up with, based on not just things like this, but just the dealing with so many people by yourself.
In a good situation, right? In a situation where you don't have bullying,
situation, that's
you are overworked
stressful
and underpaid, right? Throw bullying on top of that, and over 20 years or something. Sheesh. I can't imagine what that would be like. Yeah. And I'm glad that she had her
episode,
her explosion.
Okay, yeah.
Of sorts. Even though it is very unfortunate that it took everything out of her, right? That she collapsed and had to leave the school and everything.
Hospitalized.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But I'm very glad that she was able to finally express it, even if it wasn't in the best way.
Sure.
And the thing is, it didn't go the way that I was kind of afraid that it might go.
Right.
Where it becoming like attacks on character or basically like trying to turn the bullying back on Takagi.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where I was worried.
But it was something of basically calling her out and saying how dare you do this? Don't you realize what this does for all these other students that are trying to prepare for exams and everything and
Yeah. And okay, so we have the amazing bit of showcasing how awesome Hina is in these moments of conflict now, comparatively to where she was earlier on in the show, because of all the help Ray has given her, because of all the support her family has been giving her, because of how she's soldiered on throughout this, and just been just this awesome character. And now we've gone into the area that Hayashida predicted a while ago, where because attention is being brought towards it, because Hina is directly bringing up the basically directly bringing up the bullying, it is now requiring more administrative attention and action, which I am totally excited for, because there's a lot of change that can happen, and change, while it can lead towards a bad thing, can also lead towards a better thing. So we get the best of both worlds, I think. Or we get both worlds, really, in this environment. We get the parents who come in and believe everything their bully child has been saying, which I 100% understand. If a parent comes in and their child is one that has probably a great track record at home of just being a decent kid, and they have no idea that they're being a monster at school.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. And the mom can't be blamed for that. Like, well, no. Well, like, you can totally be held accountable for your bad parenting. But not for the you don't know what you don't know. You're ignorant.
Sure. And there are cases where it's like literally you see the bullying and then it's like, oh, that's just, good fun or whatever, and it's
well, she hasn't even been shown that.
Right. But exactly. But we haven't seen that happen in this case. So, exactly.
Like in a lot of ways, I like that the mom is kind of blind intentionally. She's specifically saying, you were spreading the rumors about her being the one that was bullying or stealing stuff. Which I'm like, yeah, of course she's going to zero in on that, because that's a crime.
Right.
Bullying isn't a crime, probably. So the thing is that it'd be like, no, someone wrote, Hina is this on the chalkboard. Someone did all these things. Right. We have a list of account of all the things that were to the bullying. Probably they actually don't, because it's just Hina, the one that's bringing it up, and the teacher didn't want to deal with it.
Sure.
So the head teacher just hears there was bullying, and
well, right, and the idea,
and the mom doesn't even know maybe even about that. So
right, and the thing is that, like, I love the fact that she's like, your daughter's been accusing my daughter of theft. Well, Hina never did that, right? Like,
well, actually, she didn't do that, but she did specifically say in front of all the class, she's saying that I did it because she did it, because she probably did it. Or wait, no, actually, that's actually the thing. No, wait, hold on. Let me bring up the episode. Because I think it was actually the fact that Hina was like...
Takagi said she probably did it,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Now the thing is that you can't really use that as a retort, because then it becomes just back and forth. He said, she said,
whatever.
But the thing is that then it is still a thing of basically, well, hopefully now 85-90% chance it wouldn't, but hopefully it would cause the mom to basically question, is my daughter giving me the whole story? Because while there is definitely the possibility that and the default setting that she would probably be on is, this child just has it out for my daughter, right? Because my daughter's more popular than her, but whatever.
So here's the thing. This is what it is that Hina instigated the confrontation, which then led to the teacher essentially accusing Takagi in front of the whole class for being a bully. So Takagi got emotionally distraught from this whole thing, conflated the whole thing to blame Hina, because blaming the teacher is,
right. I mean,
point,
conflating, or just decided to tell the story that best suited.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. But I'm talking about it from her perspective.
Right. Just how she paints the picture.
Yeah. She turns the whole thing into the story of, Hina is making problems for me at class because the teacher went on a tirade about me because of what Hina said, which is true. Technically,
yes,
that is true. the reason why the dam burst for the teacher was because all this stuff was happening with her.
Now,
but the reason why it happened right here and right now and directly towards
was that because Hina was calling you out on something that you just said about her?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But
so
the thing is, then it's just bickering and and whatever, and doesn't get anywhere. Which is why I love so much how Kokubo handles this, because he's like, well, yeah, there's no proof. Of course there's no proof. It's bullying, right? You know, if there was proof, there wouldn't be a problem, right? Because because if there was proof, then you'd basically then they wouldn't have the parent-teacher conference or anything like that, because it would be something that you would be able to solve in a very direct way. Of, we know it's you and you're bullying this, and we can issue out whatever punishment would be happening because we know it's you.
Yeah, but that's probably where I think things also get into. This is, I think, being handled in such a way that they're avoiding, I would say, the gray areas of bullying by having it be a thing where we don't know technically that it's Takagi. Like, there is really no proof that it is Takagi. Takagi is like we don't know Takagi is the one writing these things, for instance.
Right, exactly. We know like we know in this particular instance that she was saying certain things, but as for like the specific instances of actions that were taken, moving, like throwing the eraser, and doing stuff like that, we don't theoretically know that,
right. She could have a ring of her friends or whatever that are doing this whole thing.
And in fact, we can probably know that it isn't just Takagi, that it's other people too, right? And that's why people don't want to mess with Takagi, because if Takagi was alone, then calling her out as a bully wouldn't be as much of a problem. But it's the fact that she has influence with other kids in the class, and they're probably doing it with her, and then it's this mob mentality of, we don't want to mess with them because one of us can't handle them, even though it might only be like 5 or 6 kids in the class. Exactly. Yeah. And look what happened to the teacher, even.
Yes.
Because that's the thing that would be really scary for the students, is the idea that these bullies, they don't care. They'll go after the adults too. But which is why Kokubo coming in is so great, because no one will mess with him. If they do, it'll just end badly.
Right. So I am glad that they're keeping things in this ambiguous area, because it leads to some more interesting storytelling. But they are avoiding, I would say, the more gray areas of bullying, where someone does something really passive aggressive, like really subtle, in plain view of everyone, and someone goes, that's bullying, and a teacher has to make a judgment call based on whether or not that is technically bullying for them, and that's where things can get really
because then what it ends up being is it's based on the discernment of the teacher, rather than like literal proof that's being presented, right? Because
what Chiho had in her situation was probably the closer thing to that scenario. Chiho was doing things for the other students, basically, as a basically their slave.
Right, exactly. Whereas with saying something, it's like, okay, saying something mean, that's different, and you might say, hey, don't keep this classroom civil, kind of a thing, but that's a different.
Yeah, especially for one, because Chiho in that instance, probably if people came and asked, like, are you being bullied? She'd be like, no, they're my friends. Like, no, they're everything's fine,
Yeah,
So in this case, we have Hina standing up for herself like a boss.
Oh yeah,
like
that was
like a badass.
That was so awesome. Like,
you're right.
Man.
The JoJo pose was real. Like, it was strong. She stood proud.
Oh yeah,
and just the idea that, like, in some ways. The idea that she was listening to the feedback from others about, you don't need to, directly stoop to their level or anything like that. Just stand up to them and be like, no.
Yep.
Why are you doing this? And I love that she was asking them questions, specifically to Takagi, though, asking a question.
Rather than making accusations, because accusations, because basically... Because then it turns into more of like the teacher's rant, right? Yeah. Whereas with asking questions, it's asking questions and then waiting for an answer.
Yeah.
And then what? Are they just not going to say anything? Because you're leveling something at them, but you're also asking a pointed question. So if they try and defend themselves without answering the question, well, then that just feels like dodging, and and then it's like, I'm intimidated. I don't want to deal with this right now.
And it's fully within their right to just ignore her.
Totes.
But in some ways, it shifts the dynamic so much that Hina has established to the rest of the class that you can confront her and she won't be able to basically meet you at that level.
Because bullying is all done through fear, right? Yep. And that's the reason why Kokobo, it wouldn't work on him. It's not because, he's like a bigger dude or something like that.
Right.
No, it's just that he wouldn't be afraid, right?
Right.
In the case of the old teacher, she got afraid, and that's how they were able to control her, right?
Yeah.
In the case of Hina here, she proudly demonstrated by standing proud, by JoJo posing, that she's not afraid.
Yeah.
Not only to Takagi, but to the rest of the class.
Right.
So basically, she just completely stripped away Takagi's power in the situation.
No. I have to. Every time we go into the Takagi stripped of power thing is like, no. She basically leveled up her power and basically like said, "Are you as strong as me?"
Sure.
I don't think it's a thing of Takagi still has real power over the other students.
Sure. Yeah, but
people can come to Hina maybe if they're being bullied and being like, hey,
exactly.
Something's happening and I don't want to tell a teacher because they'll get me in trouble and stuff, but can you can you help me?
It's something like, this is a weird analogy.
Okay.
But in Risk, when you have a continent, right?
Sure.
You get big bonuses from that.
Gotcha.
Now, the thing is that you don't want that continent to become disputed. Because even if you control most of the continent, if you don't control the entire continent, you don't get the bonuses.
Gotcha.
And one of the worst things that you can have happen for your power domain is for someone to go in that one territory in and plant themselves there and say, kick me out. Try.
Okay.
And that's basically what I feel like Hina did here. Because she's still just the one person in the class. But she showed that basically that Takagi doesn't own the class.
Right. Yeah, and I would say that while that is something that basically establishes that Hina is stronger than Takagi, whether or not it's Takagi going up, down, staying the same, or what have you.
Theory of relativity.
Right, yeah, exactly. But I think what the primary focus is that Hina has a stronger place within the class's thing of this whole fear power dynamic.
Exactly.
And then Takagi, because she did that, and everyone saw that.
And bullying is predicated on preying on those weaker than you, specifically through fear. So the fact that Hina demonstrated this, basically, it's awesome. Yeah.
Right. And yet, Hina will still probably be bullied.
Sure.
The rest of the class will still probably deal with bullying if they stand up and make some kind of noise or something like that.
Why Kokobo calling the entire class out
was
so awesome. Because the thing is, like the whole idea of it's like, okay, well, how do you deal with something like that? It's like, well, okay,
yeah, it's tricky.
It's tricky. But here he basically just addressed the entire class, because then he doesn't have to poke out names, right? He doesn't have to say who it was or who it wasn't or whatever.
Because everyone knows.
Because everyone knows, exactly.
Yeah.
But by saying, your teacher is now gone, and you are all going to suffer for that because you have to deal with the new change and all that stuff, and exams are right around the corner. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
that's gonna hurt.
And we might have not been here if one of you had spoken up about this.
Yeah, in fact, and if
or
all
if
of
more of you had spoken up about this.
Exactly. This situation definitely could have been avoided, and it's on you.
Yes,
and that's
not you individually,
right, but just
you as a class, as
exactly,
a collective.
because a group is comprised of individuals, and when each individual basically decides to do nothing, the group does nothing, and there you go, and that's how bullying exists.
What's the line about
when good men go to war, devils flee?
No. Okay. The only way for evil to win is basically for good people to do nothing.
Yes,
kind of thing. It's basically something like that. I'm butchering the quote, but basically,
but that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, when good people do nothing, basically evil flourishes. Just the depravity of humanity is able to run rampant, and that's the thing. There's a lot of depraved aspects of humanity that can run rampant when good people do nothing.
Like when mothers do nothing. Now.
Well, okay, I will go into that conversation with you in a second, but I want to talk about the awesome way in which they gave Akari focus in this episode.
That was absolutely
incredible. We talk about how they nearly broke our hearts, like shattered them with that scene? If they had gone even more into that scene with the flashback with the mom and her sitting by the bed, I was like, you can't go into this all of a sudden. We had no breathing room.
This was a chapter called Light. And here's the thing. This is I with the chapter called Light, and all of this stuff happening that very much was heavy and in some ways like almost
black mist and then light.
Yeah, black mist and then light, right? Yeah. But even in the beginning parts of the light section, right, it was still heavy as hell, right? And the way that they resolved it, the way that they had the light come in, right, and that being Hina, I love that so much because it communicates several awesome things. Right. One, Akari is not alone, right? Yeah. Two, Akari helped raise Hina, right?
Akari is not alone? Hold on. Wait.
Yeah. Akari's not alone because basically Akari has felt very alone because she's had to care for Hina and Momo and her mom's gone and her grandpa has things that he needs to do and she needs to shoulder the burden and everything.
Right, but where was that reinforced? I'm sorry, I'm lost. Where was it reinforced that Akari wasn't alone in the second half of the episode?
That Akari wasn't alone?
Yeah.
When Hina comforted her.
Oh, right, but that's at the end of the
right,
whole
and
thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
The way they resolved that, the way they brought the aspect of the name of the chapter being light into the story, right?
Okay,
that was absolutely fantastic because it's showing that Akari's not alone, but then it's also showing that Akari's efforts up till this point, even though she felt inadequate, even though she didn't know if she was doing it right, she helped create that environment for Hina to become the person that she is today, and now Hina is helping her when Akari feels weak.
Yes,
that is
family.
Amazing. That is amazing. Family. Yeah, exactly. I love that so much. Like I was thinking about how they would end up, doing the whole light thing, and I didn't think of this. And this is the best way.
You realize who was the light? Hina.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because
exactly.
Actually, the light starts in the black mist part.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's when Hina confronts Takagi.
Well,
and then the light shines forth through the windows on and through Hina. And it's the brightest moment in the whole part of the episode.
And also
or of that section of it.
Yeah. And also when she helps the teacher who was making her life hell, right?
Yes, she's like, where is it? Oh yeah, her little
exactly. She was and she was realizing that what was probably happening, with the teacher, right? Because of all the other stuff, and she saw that it was getting to her, right?
Right.
And she sympathized, right? And it wasn't something of now you know what it's like, bitch. It wasn't anything like that. She wanted to help, and she did help, right? That is just another example.
Yeah. One thing I just wanted to bring up, when they switch from the black mist to the light episode, they go straight from black mist to light into actually the comedy of the grandpa and Akari.
Yes, that was wonderful.
That was basically they didn't start off that heavy, actually, in the right thing. It starts off in a very comedic thing of are you going to unleash the devil, Grandpa? Just
right.
He's just fuming. There's ears and a tail growing from him, and he's like, I will unleash the fury of hell upon them.
Oh, I'll show that no good parent. Yeah.
You almost are more terrified for not just the parent, but the school in his wake. He'll burn the whole place down and in the attempts of trying to destroy them.
And the thing is that as hilarious and wonderful as that scene was, I feel like that's also the build-up for Akari feeling alone.
Oh,
because she realizes I can't unleash the devil, Grandpa, right? He has his things he needs to do. I need to deal with this myself, and he'd just go in and obliterate everything in his grandpa just rage,
Okay. Yeah.
Because.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so while it's and that's one of the things that I love about the show is how they will have all these lighthearted moments in there, right? They can have you laughing, but then at the same time it's building up these other moments that not necessarily are soul crushing, although they can be, but gets at those very deep set emotions of the characters that helps them grow. The thing is that the growth is rarely fun.
Yeah.
Usually it's not, because that's why we're forced to grow, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My favorite part of this episode was basically the flashback bit. If they had decided to have it go any longer in terms of giving us more content to it, because they've repeated it later on in the episode. That would have broke me, because once they transitioned off that, I was like, oh, thank God. That was hard. That was hard to watch, because I don't think I was expecting ever really to see or even hear the voice of their mother. Like, it's just kind of a thing of you understand
that this is
the Kawamoto situation.
Yeah.
That it's not really going to change in terms of the way their parents have things situated. Maybe they'll see their father, but no, not really.
No.
Like, not really. And the fact that we got not just Akari focus this episode, but we actually got Miss Kawamoto, Mrs. Kawamoto, Mama Kawamoto's like actual condition, showcasing her sick in the hospital bed and stuff, and then hearing her voice and you being like, wait, I think that's Hina's
I think so, yeah.
voice actress, and that was brilliant, because I'm like, I think you're right.
Like, and I could be wrong, but that sounded like Hina, and that absolutely breaks me, because it shows just how young Akari was when that happened. Like, the idea that this is,
I'm glad that we didn't get Momo focus actually in this episode.
Although seeing her in the bed just fast asleep with Akari, that was awesome.
Yeah. That was the part where the alone thing that you were talking about, like, really kind of like hit me, where was when she has the nightmare, she has the dream, nightmare, what have you. She says, oh, not that one again.
Yeah.
Basically, the thing about Akari is we've always known that she feels alone, but I feel like actually in those moments where she encounters Devil Grandpa, that actually, if anything, I feel like makes her realize that she can be bolstered by the energy of those that she can come back to the house to and gain some respite from.
Yes.
But of course she feels alone in that she has to be the one to handle it.
Right.
But I think that the reason why Akari has lasted this long in terms of it's always like the teacher, like the homeroom teacher. I'm drawing those comparisons really hard here. And that the Black Mist hasn't overtaken her, is that she has basically these passionate, caring people in her life that are part of home, that are part of family. But when she is alone in a literal sense, basically, like, Momo doesn't really count. Sorry, like,
and she certainly wouldn't want to wake Momo up.
Right. But like alone with her thoughts, alone with her feelings at night, asleep. That is when most of us, I would say, are truly alone with what's going on, and we're alone with what's going on internally, and the idea that she can't escape this, that this is this promise that she made that also kind of feels like a curse, like some kind, not a curse, but like a
I totally
like
get
a burden, like that's the most literal way to do it. But I think it is a curse, because in some ways she can't fulfill that well, because she's not meant to be the only one really taking that burden upon herself.
And the thing is that she doesn't think she can fulfill it that well, but that she has to. And the thing is that while she definitely could use the help, she's doing a wonderful job.
She's doing a
fantastic job. And Hina comforting her at the end there is
that's so good. That's so good. I love that cyclical aspect of relationships where you see someone who was hurting, who was dealing with all this pain and stuff, end up getting so much restoration and just healing from that then comes back around in a way that is not it's not something where it's some kind of like it's not some kind of debt, it's not some kind of I owe Akari so much. It's the just Akari, thank you. It's the gratitude. It's the compassion. It's just it's love. It's beautiful. So no Ray this episode. And I am totally okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
I am very glad that we didn't get shogi focus in a lot of ways, because I've said multiple times before, but this is the heart and soul of the show, right? The shogi is great. The shogi is great, and they use that to grow Rei as a character and everything in some wonderful ways, and Harunobu and all that.
Right.
But this is what makes this show stand above the rest.
Rey has this thematic struggle at multiple points in the show, so Rey still carries the heart of the show.
Oh no, yeah. I'm not saying right. Yeah,
but we're talking specifically about Shogi.
Well, right, exactly. Yeah. Shogi versus the Kawamoto household, of which Rey is a part,
or more the mental, emotional journey of basically the characters dealing with their stuff, like just dealing with the past, dealing with these characters around them, because I feel
that way it can include other characters like Harunobu or Kyoko.
Sure. Yeah, and I would say that the fact that they each character is given the time to explore that's the heart of this show, because
sure.
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm clarifying that, but yeah, I'm not saying that Rey is like I don't believe you're saying this either, that Rey is like a lesser part of the show.
No. Rey is absolutely the main character. Absolutely the main character, and he does a fantastic job of being the main character. But the Shogi is not what makes March Comes in Like a Lion special.
Yes.
Yes. It's not. Like it's fun, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's the characters and these kinds of moments.
Yeah. This was one of the heaviest episodes in the show outside of some of the stuff with our resident terror, Kyoko. So, yeah. It's been a while since we've had one of these types of episodes in the show, given that a lot of the stuff so far has been, like, recently has been all about, like, look at how far we've come, look at how much changes happened.
Especially with the new OP.
Yeah, but I would actually count this as a victory episode, because the way it ends, having Kokubu be like, so how do you want to do this? You know, I thought you were gonna like laugh at that and be like, you know.
And also Hina doing her JoJo pose confrontation, like that was like I almost can't think of this episode as too heavy of an episode, even though it was very heavy, just because it had that, and it had that at the beginning. Like I couldn't get truly like it couldn't get that dark. Because, like, in my mind of, like, you know, the night is darkest just before the dawn, because we had that amazing moment.
Sure.
That sort of told me everything was going to be Daijobu. But, yeah.
Yeah, the teacher episode. Thing, I gotta give a special kind of shout out to the show for deciding to do this, because one of the things that I think has nothing to do with the role of a teacher, but the idea of mental health being something that... The reason why it's something that needs to be taken seriously is because it's generally not taken seriously.
Right.
If more of us took our mental health seriously and basically treated it in the same way as we would our physical health, like nutrition or something like that, we need to eat.
Right.
And we don't need just to eat crap. We need to eat something that like sustains us in a way that promotes a healthy lifestyle.
Right.
In the same way as that, there are thoughts, there are belief patterns, there are all these kinds of things that we do that either promote a more healthy internal lifestyle or don't.
And it can get really bad when you
don't address it and you let it fester for a long time.
Yep.
And I'll just say that it's not something that is going to necessarily wait 20 years. Or wait a decade, however long she was teaching. Most people don't last that long. Most people, I would say, burst out. Or at the very least, it's not that they burst out. It's actually, I'd say, a more insidious thing is that they just implode. Change. Well, they just lose parts of who they were. They lose aspects of their best self. And they start to change. And that disconnects them from people, that leads them to a place of isolation, that ruins relationships, that does all these things, that ends up in a place where you really feel alone and helpless. And even if you were to then snap or blow up, there might not be anyone even there at that point. Like that's scary. Like that's actually like dark and scary to the point where like I am so happy in some ways that this was public.
Yes.
Like
yes, absolutely.
One of the things that's freaky to me in a lot of ways is when I hear stories about friends or people with like who a good friend of mine has someone really close to them that took their life. And it's just like,
yeah,
what?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it's all of a sudden.
Yep.
And the thing is that for them, no, it was years.
Right.
It was years.
It was
years of suffering. No one saw.
Yep.
And it's not a thing of where it's anyone's fault or something like that, but it's something where there was time where they were isolated, alone, and they believed they had no one that could help them.
Right.
And
that's why I'm so glad that the teacher did have that explosion, because she needed that.
Because it was in a professional environment.
Yeah.
She's going to get legitimately decent help, probably.
Yep. It might have been, it was certainly too late, and it might have maybe even been too little.
Yes.
But it's something.
But it's going to be taken very seriously.
Exactly.
Right. But the thing is that for us as people who are, I would say primarily for the most of us here watching this, or just you and I, we've got a lot of life ahead of us. We've got a lot of time ahead of us in life. And we don't need to live our lives in a suboptimal mental health state. We don't need to live in stuff like that. So I just want to encourage anyone who feels like they've got that black mist, they've got that creeping darkness just kind of like attached to them, and they just can't seem to break free of it. It's really hard to know what exactly to say here, but it's okay to take it seriously.
Right.
And in some ways, people are going to be thankful and grateful to you, maybe in an indirect way, because you took it seriously. And I don't know really the best way to say this other than like it's going to be okay. The hardest part is making that step to taking that step to take it seriously. So
it's tough to figure out when, like if we were to use this as an analogy of like, keeping a car going, right? It's tough to know when the car's breaking down, because it's your mental state, right? How do you judge that, really? Because you're in your own mental state. You can't be removed from it in order to tell, right? And this probably seems like a weird analogy, but talking about things with people is so important, because then they can help basically say, yeah, I think you might need an oil change, or worse, you don't want to let that sit and then just keep trying to have the car be running until it eventually gives out, because it's a thing you need to take care of. You need to take care of you.
As just a thing to just encourage you guys, like I had, and I think we've mentioned this earlier on in the reaction series for this show specifically, and I think this is one of the brilliant things about this show, is that it brings up a lot of feelings and memories regarding trauma and regarding depression, regarding all these things that I've dealt with and stuff. But more recently, it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I had to basically spend, I don't know, God, it was probably about 8 or 10 different times going to someone to basically just have basically therapy, and getting basically someone to talk to about something that was going on with my mom. And it's something where it took probably far longer than it should have for that to be a thing. I could say that I probably had 3 years. I think it was about 3 years minimum that I should have been seeing someone like that I didn't. And the only reason for that was because of some stupid pride or stigma surrounding the idea of getting help for those kinds of things. So all of us in some ways need that little bit of help to edge things off with regards to, just our mental well-being. But there's no shame in it. Right. And that's just all I can say about it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, This is one that had a lot of high moments. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of really good high moments in this episode. I'm excited now about this arc more than I was in the past.
Yeah.
And I think Kokubu is very much the biggest reason about that. But I think actually the indirect biggest reason is because we got actual Akari focus through this.
Yeah, and we haven't gotten that.
I have been waiting for Akari focus since like episode 2. Like of the whenever like we saw her come to help Rei, I was like, I want her story. I want her story and in detail. Like I want to go in depth backstory, get characterization. Let's go. And now in season 2, we're getting this like taste of a deep dive into what is her backstory and stuff.
The Kawamotos really feel like a family, and it's weird to say because it's like, well, they're characters, and it's like, of course they would because they're characters that are a family. But I feel like a lot of times in stories you don't get that, right? You'll have like you really don't because the thing is that issues like dealing with bullying, for instance, oftentimes they're not considered to be exciting enough to give proper focus in a story. And and if they are, then oftentimes it isn't focused on the family. It's focused on like the more of like the school dynamic or something like that, from what I've just seen. But the fact that they're spending so much time on something that's such a real struggle, that is absolutely so important to them, right? That makes them that to me that makes them feel like they're an actual family out there somewhere. Because there are families like this out there, and so
it's kind of funny because like I know families who have kind of the exact 3 sisters dynamic, and one is a lot younger than the other 2, but thankfully they have at least one parent, and we give shout outs to the Kawamotos. Like I love them. They are my guilty pleasure with this show, in the same way as like some shows will have like food scenes or like really awesome badass animated fights. Whenever the Kawamotos basically show up on screen, even if it is a part where it's a little bit darker for something of this nature, it just warms me up inside.
This show would not be the same without the Kawamotos, because the thing is that Rei is a main character. He is a fantastic main character. As a main character, though, I have seen the archetype of Rei before, right? It's not that uncommon. It's just executed incredibly well here. And I feel like one of the main reasons that it is executed so well is because of the Kawamotos. They're able to do all kinds of things with the connections between them and all sorts of stuff that the other shows that I've seen that have this type of main character usually don't do. And if they do it, then it's usually in like it makes me think of like Your Lie in April or something like that. And and the main character has a lot of similarities there, but they don't get at the family aspect as much. It's more of like a like transcendent kind of like almost
well, it's more about the creative expression,
right? Exactly,
about the family dynamic.
Yes, and I love whenever stories focus on family.
All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this amazing episode with us and going through our full just
discussion
discussion and everything like that. Y'all are the best. I know we don't read the comments and stuff, but we do have mods pass comments along, so leave a comment with some stories about like, I mean, if you're comfortable, like positive experiences you've had of when you've had to address like mental health stuff. So I don't know, we can just all kind of band together and help those that might need to hear those kinds of good stories about that nature, because I feel like that's really powerful for at least someone watching.
Right, because like one of the things that kept me from like taking my own mental health seriously is because and this is probably due to maybe some arrogance or something on my part, but I always thought it as being something where it's like, that's what people say because it's a nice thing to say, and they're wanting to make sure that they're seeming as as nice and caring and all that stuff. But really, I mean, come on, I don't need that. Like, come on. But
I was similar to that as well. So yeah, thank you all. See you in the next one. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for our Patreon, so you can watch the next episode's reaction now. And any level support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about these stories. You can chat with us about like all the kind of nuanced aspects of relationship connection and mental health and all this kind of stuff there. You can also get involved in community events there, which is some wacky, fun, like goofy stuff going on. It's going to be starting August 1st. Be pretty cool. And also you can talk with Jacob about the book he just put on Amazon.
Right. My sci-fi novel, Battle Lines, is still available for order on Amazon. Link in the description. And there's some signed copies left, so go check it out.
Yeah. It's pretty good book. Yeah. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.